Well, greetings, family. Hey, it's your brother G Hightower coming in on this wonderful Saturday night. And welcome to the Late Night Love Chat. Got a question for you. Is fear of being hurt keeping you single? I mean, come on, y'all. Let's be real. Listen, some of us have been in singleness for years, and you haven't even been out on any real dates in years. It's been years since you've been in any real relationship. I'm talking about a real one. I'm not talking about someone that you dated for a while. I'm not talking about that you kind of like. I'm not talking about that person that you were in love with, but you found out they were married. Been there, done that. I'm talking about being in a real healthy relationship. And it didn't necessarily have to lead toward marriage, but at least it was a relationship where you grew, because that's what a healthy relationship does. Listen, and this is where many of us are conflicted because we think every relationship we get involved in has to lead toward marriage. Well, if it's of God, it would be. Listen, let me help y'all in here tonight. Before I get into the love nuggets, let me just give you a uh, let me give you a sample love nugget. Okay, you know how you go to the back of Costco or Sam's Club and they got somebody standing there, or even at Whole Foods and someone standing there with a little tray and little samples of something. Let me give you a nice, tasty little sample love nugget. Healthy relationships grow us. The reality is every relationship grows us, whether it's healthy or unhealthy. But healthy relationships grow us. They help mature us. They help us discover something about ourselves that we didn't know. Or at the very least, not only are you learning about that other person, but you're also learning something about yourself, what you can tolerate, what you cannot tolerate, something that you can handle that you never thought you could, and things that you cannot handle. You learn how to establish boundaries because many of us have never really had boundaries that were set that were immovable. We set boundaries based on fear. Well, I'm never going to let nobody do this, or I don't want to engage in that. And so those things are not real boundaries. Those things are just borders that we set up because of our fears. Boundaries are based on your confidence level. Boundaries are based on your tolerance level. Boundaries are based on what you are graced to be able to pour into and give and serve and help. And boundaries are there to protect your peace. All right. Boundaries are made consciously. Borders and walls are set up unconsciously. And so those things, family, are rooted in fear. And I submit to you tonight that those things are keeping a lot of us unnecessarily single. Now, before we begin, let me start off by saying I do realize, hey, good evening, Cherie. Good evening, Miss Denise. I do realize that there are a lot of people who are content in their singleness. Shout out to all the satisfied singles. There are people who are happy and content in their singleness. There are some who are single because they have certain goals that they want to meet, academic goals, financial goals. Some of us have the care for our parents or care for children, and we don't want to mix. We don't want to muddy the waters, so to speak, with trying to maintain a relationship, being a dating process, and still I've got to serve my parents that I'm taking care of. I have to still take care of my children. Some of us are raising children. For me, for a few years, it was going to be really tough. It was going to be a no-go for me because I had the primary care, actually the sole care for my dad, being a caretaker for my dad. So it was very, very, very little room, little to no room for a relationship in that season of my life. So I understand those things. But outside of those exceptional circumstances, many of us are single because fear. Fear is keeping us single. And I submit that a lot of us are fearful of being hurt. I get it. I get it. I understand that. But listen, family, at some point, you have got to get over your fear because love is not going to happen for you magically. God is not going to, ladies, here we go. Newsflash for you, ladies. God is not dropping off husbands by way of Amazon, UPS, FedEx, or the U.S. Postal Service. God is not dropping off husbands on your front porch via delivery. God is not going to magically cause you to wake up one morning to a husband. Brothers, the same thing is true for us. Although for us as men, we don't really have that problem because men by nature, we're hunters. So as men, we understand we got to go for what we want, right? We know we got to go and find what we need, right? Ergo, the scripture says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So we know as men, we got to go get it. All right. Ain't no kicking back. Ain't no sitting back. Ain't no, well, I'm a hope to see in the sweet by and by. One day the Lord is going to sweep through. Ain't no, sitting on the front porch drinking lemonade out of a mason jar talking about swing low, sweet chariot. Ain't no, that ain't going to happen. We got to go get it. Right. But many of you precious, awesome women of God, I'm so concerned for you because many of you are not being intentional enough. You're not. I love you. Love you, mean it. But you're not being intentional enough with regards to a potential relationship, a relationship that can lead toward marriage. You're not being intentional enough with positioning yourselves to be found. Yes, that's right, ladies. I'm calling y'all out in here tonight. All right. Blessings, Brandy. So listen, I need you all to share this broadcast. I'm not going to be here for a very long time, but I am going to give you a few love nuggets that's going to help you identify what does fear look like. Because some of us are calling ourselves, I'm just guarding my heart. Dr. G, I'm just guarding my heart in this season. Because the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of the heart flow the issues of life. So I'm just being obedient to the Lord. That sounds good, sis, for somebody who is easily fooled, but I'm not the one. You're not guarding your heart. Listen, let me help y'all in here tonight. There's a difference between guarding your heart and shutting your heart down. When we're guarding our heart, we're in a particular season where God is developing us, He's transforming us, He's processing us, maturing us, all of those wonderful things. When we're guarding our heart, God keeps us covered. It's not even really too much that you have to do intentionally on your own. God just does it supernaturally. God keeps us covered. God keeps us hidden. He does the same thing for men, but especially He does this for His daughters. Amen, somebody. Listen, He keeps His daughters covered. Can I get about 7 of my sisters to drop in the chat? I'm a covered girl. I'm a covered girl. Yeah, covered girl. Well, woman. Amen. God keeps His daughters covered until, hear this, ladies, I'm about to bless y'all sanctified socks off. God keeps His daughters covered until the man that shows up who's capable of covering you, until he shows up. He only allows the man who's capable of covering you to find you. Now, what about all these other men that are sliding up in my DMs, Dr. G? What about these no good men? Well, those men will see a treasure from afar. Listen, darkness is always attracted to light. But notice none of those men are coming with any high level of intentionality. Ladies, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to share first before I jump in. All right. Yes. Come on, Miss Aisha. Come on, Miss Sharon. Listen, when you are a covered woman, it's God keeping you covered. All right. So some of you are kind of frustrated because you're saying, well, hey, Dr. G, no men are approaching me. That's God keeping you covered. At the same time, however, two things can be true. At the same time, when you are ready and you've done the soul work, you've begun the process of getting healed, you've gone through counseling, you've gone through therapy, you've sat with some great coaches to get poured into, to get strengthened. When you've gone and invested in yourself and done that soul work, well, you then have to move and be intentional about positioning yourselves to be found. God is not going to just deliver your husband, wherever your little small circle is in life. All right. Hit that share button. Let's go. Hit that share button. Do me a favor, family. Drop 3 names in the comment section. Drop 3 names in the comment section. Help me out tonight, family, because I don't know. The numbers are extremely low, but I'm going to go forth anyway. And again, I'm not going to be here long, but I'll just go forth and share while I am here. All right. But the numbers are really, really, really low. And yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. We just gonna go forth anyway. Hey, Miss Amy, good to see you. All right. So, love nugget number one, talking about uh, fear. We're asking the question tonight: is fear of being hurt keeping you single? Is fear of being hurt keeping you single? Blessings, Miss Brenda. Thanks for coming in. Blessings to you all. So, if we're honest, family, again, a lot of us, we are struggling with fear. And I find it a little bit surprising, actually, quite surprising. I thought that this particular fear, hey, Miss Shawn, thought this particular fear was only really um, strong among men. But I have learned, and I'm yet learning, that this particular fear is a fear that women have that may be as strong or even stronger than what men have. And that is the fear of rejection. I'm learning that a lot of ladies are not putting themselves out there. When I say put yourselves out there, I don't mean that you go and chase down a man. I don't mean that you do anything in a way that would diminish the grace, the class that's on your life, the level of class as a lady that you carry yourself with. I don't mean to diminish that in any way. Okay, thank you, Amy. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, Sharon. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. So, the fear of rejection. I've shared with you, ladies, especially those of you that have been through my classes. I've shared with you several times, many, 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 many times. I've shared with you that as a woman who is a treasure, treasures are meant to be discovered. But many of y'all have stayed hidden treasures. You stayed hidden, remained a hidden treasure. And it's not that men would not approach you. You are just not in a place to be approached. I've shared with you, ladies that have gone through my classes, three basic places that you can go as a beautiful woman that can position yourselves to be among quality men. Number one, if you're an entrepreneur or you are a businesswoman of any level, you should be going to a Chamber of Commerce mixers. They have business mixers. Once or twice a month in every major city in America. So even if you live in a small little town, listen, whatever that majoring city is that's near you, you need to get your wonderful tail in the car and go drive there and go to the business mixer. Go online and Google, just like you Google everything else, and find out when the business mixer is. Because guess what? You're going to find businessmen. Guess what? Businessmen have money. Guess what? Businessmen don't waste time. Many businessmen, if they're single, some are not interested in marriage at all. But ladies, don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the toxicity that you're hearing throughout social media and the entertainment world. Most men who are business oriented, men who are professional, men who are educated, men who have some type of business going on, whether he's educated or not, those men are marriage minded men. Now, some may be a bit reticent to commit themselves immediately, but they are not wanting to be in these relationships that are prolonged relationships without any definition, or prolonged relationships where we just living together, but we have no set goals for how we're developing this relationship and what is the end goal for our relationship, right? Yes, we know of a lot of people who are shacking and been living together. Oh, I'm sorry. People get offended by that term, shacking. There are those who are cohabitating for economical purposes for prolonged periods of time. We know that. But most business minded men, most professional men, educated men, they ain't trying to stay in that type of relationship forever. No. But ladies, you have to hold the standard because listen, a man will pretty much take whatever you're giving him. But when you require as a woman, and some of y'all would say, some of y'all would rebel against what I'm getting ready to say, but I need you to listen and stop being so stubborn. I need you to listen. When a woman sets the standard that marriage is the goal for her, that you're not going to live with a man until you're married to that man, that you're not going to be just having all this sex with a man until you are married to that man, until you have his last name. When you set the standard, the right man will raise up and meet the standard, or the right man will meet you because that's also his standard. But you have to set the standard. Men will step up to the standard that you require him to step up to. The wrong men will leave. That's okay. Pamela Bell, hey, good to see you, sis. Blessings on you. Good to see you. Listen, the wrong men will walk away because they don't have the intestinal fortitude. They don't have the integrity. They don't have the strength or the honor or the discipline to maintain abstinence until marriage. Most men don't have it. For a long time, I didn't have it either. Can I confess my mess? And I'm not special. Well, I am special. But I'm not any greater than any other man. I just over time learned sexual discipline because the assignment on my life requires my body to be honored, for me to honor God with my body, which means no sex, which means no pornography, which means no masturbation, which means not getting off by being validated by the love and affection from all these women. And I'm just playing these sisters. No, 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 no. Abstinence means completely keeping yourself free so that you are preparing yourself for your purpose partner. That's what time it is. That's what time I'm on. That's the energy I'm on. Oh, thank you. My spiritual mom says, son, you are special. Yes, I am. Praise the Lord. My mom said it. uh, but ladies, men will step up to the standard that you require him to step up to. The wrong men will leave and let them jokers go. Okay? That's not rejection. Okay? Listen, I need you to see yourself as being Neiman Marcus. I need you to see yourself as Prada. I need you to see yourself as Chanel. I need you to see yourself as Louis. I need you to see yourself as, uh, you know, a high-end store where people come in there to look at stuff, but they can't afford it. The fact that they can't afford the items doesn't mean that the items are being rejected. It just means that those people can't afford what's being offered. Ladies, you being the awesome woman that you are, when a man decides he doesn't want to be with you because you're not going to give him sex, you're not going to move in with him, you're not going to do all this stuff that a lot of men are asking for, and some are demanding, being left by that man is not you being rejected. It's just that he couldn't meet the standard. That's it. You need to value yourself enough to have a standard and maintain that standard without compromise. Maintain the standard without compromise. All right, here we go. Uh, so fear of rejection, ladies, you have to overcome the fear of rejection. And I find that many of you for years haven't gone anywhere. Work, church, and home, work, church, and home, work, church, take my kids here, take my kids there, and back home. That's been your whole life for the last several years. When are you going to break out of that cycle? Nothing in your life changes until you change. These men got to change, Dr. G. It ain't us, it's these men. No, you got to change too, boo. Yeah, the men need to change, but guess what? Men are already there. Successful, purpose-driven, accomplished men are already there. They're already on their path. Where you at? Where you at? I got men all the time, professional men, educated brothers who are doing it very well. And they're saying, man, Dr. G, I just don't have time to be out here in this dating world and dating multiple women and going on all these $300 dates. Yeah, I got the money, but I got the money because I'm building a legacy. I'm not trying to have money just so I can spend it on frivolous dates that lead to nowhere. I'm not trying to spend money on dates with women who only want a free meal, but really don't want to enjoy me as a person and get to know me as a man. Why would I keep doing that? Especially these sisters who require $300 and up on a date, which I understand that most of you women here are not like that, but many of the women are. Here in Atlanta, it's definitely like that. Sisters will tell you straight out, Cheesecake Factory, you better drive your car off a bridge, go kill yourself. I ain't going to no Cheesecake Factory. I don't do chain restaurants. Here in Atlanta, it's real. Let's go. Next love nugget. What is a sign that fear is keeping you single? Fear is keeping you single. I call this love sabotage, where you have had good people come into your life, but you keep pushing them away. You do have a man right now in your life, ladies, who wants to cultivate a relationship with you, but you keep dissing the brother. Why do you expect him to hang out and stay? Well, I'm just testing him to see, if he gonna stick around. Ain't nobody gonna stick around with you, and you keep mistreating him. Ain't nobody gonna stick around and wait on you, and you're neglecting him. Ain't nobody gonna stick around and wait on you, and you take days to call him back, days to return a text message, or hours and hours and hours on P. I'll get around to it. Boo! If you know you don't want to be treated like that, why would you treat someone else like that? Men of a certain age, especially men on the other side of 45, and definitely men who are in the 50 and fabulous club. Those of us who are a part of the graybeard gang, we don't waste time. We don't play games. We are about that life for real. And if you ain't about that life, it's okay. We ain't mad, but we will not stick around. All right. So, listen, ladies, you have to have matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to read to you with one of my distant mentors, Dr. Susan Jeffers, licensed PhD in psychology. Dr. Susan Jeffers published this years ago. This is what Dr. Susan Jeffers published in her book entitled Opening Our Hearts to Men. Dr. Susan said, and this is published all the way back in 1989, y'all. Dr. Susan says, what blocks a barrier for us as women, what blocks the barrier to connecting with men and having intimate relationships with men is that our expectations are unrealistic. Whoa! Dr. Susan Jeffers published this. She published this a gazillion years ago, all the way back in 1989. And guess what I've learned? Danny, guess what I've learned? I've learned that this is still true. What's up, Silas? Thanks for coming in. Listen, she said this. She says, we create barriers to intimacy with our men, with the men that we're in relationship with men we're married to, and men we could be in relationship with. We create the barriers to intimacy. This is what my mentor, Dr. Susan, said. We create the barriers to intimacy as women because we have unrealistic expectations. Number two, here we go. She said, also, we don't always want to hear the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. And so I find that a lot of women, and ladies, this is going to bless you, because watch this. If you watch this, ladies, I'm about to really bless your sanctified stockings off. Listen, if you are emotionally intelligent and emotionally mature, when a man shares the truth with you, by the way, don't ask a man a question that you're not prepared to handle the answer to it. When a man shares his truth with you, you have to be emotionally mature enough to handle that, which means that you're not going to judge him. You're not going to condemn him. You're not going to criticize him and make him feel like a piece of trash because of what he's done or what he's currently experiencing. All right. It amazes me that many of the women are asking for men who are emotionally intelligent, but then men in return, we're looking for emotional maturity. Like, can you be cool with what I share with you? Can you be cool with the fact that I'm sharing some fears with you, or sharing some pain with you, or sharing with you that I'm having some challenges that I'm kind of processing and working my way through it? But you make me feel like I'm a piece of dirt because of what I share with you. You get mad with me because of what I did or what I haven't done. So a lot of men, ladies, are looking for that woman who has not just emotional intelligence, but emotional maturity. Can that man tell you the truth, and can you handle it? If not, why are you asking questions that you really don't want the answer to? All right. All right, let's go further. So what does fear look like? What does fear look like? Fear also looks like this. If I'm in a place where I'm entertaining the opportunity for love, and I have learned this to be true too, one of the ways that you will know that you are struggling with fear, not only will you deal with love sabotage, you'll push away good opportunities, but you'll find yourself being overly critical of your partner. Every flaw about them, you highlight it. Every mistake they make, you gotta blow it up instead of magnifying the good qualities that they are doing and the good habits that they have developed. You are more so putting a magnifying glass on the negative things about them, more so than highlighting the good things about them. When I was in management at American Airlines, we have a principle at American Airlines that we praise in public but criticize in private. I have seen so many women very critical of their men in public, but they'll offer very little praise. And when they do offer the praise, it's offered in private. Instead of praising your man in public and criticizing him in private, for many women, not all, but for many women, it's absolutely the reverse. And I find that women do that because they really don't like him like that. And if that's where you are, ladies, it's okay, but just let that man know up front rather than embarrassing him, humiliating him, and dishonoring him in a public space. I find that the women who say, I need to be affirmed, I want to be heard and understood, oftentimes that's not being reciprocated. And ladies, here's what I'm learning as a man. Can I share this with you? As a man, I've learned and I'm yet learning that I have to be more about pouring into the woman that I love. I have to do double the amount, double the amount of pouring into her what I expect to receive in return. I can't just give a little bit, but I'm expecting a lot. I got to be willing to pour and constantly pour. And guess what? I'm about that life. I love to pour into my woman. I love to pour into her. I love to make sure that her needs are met. Listen, I ain't got a lot of money yet, but whatever I have, she got access to that. Boom. That's what it is. Because men who desire to be with you, ladies, we show up as providers. We show up as protectors. Absolutely, Sadira. So I want to give you this, ladies, being critical of your man. Is it important to share with him areas where he's deficient, areas where he's coming up short? Absolutely, ladies. We need that from you. We need that from you. Even for the men who don't admit it, we need it from you. But as grandmama used to say, it's not about what you say, but how you say it to a man that matters. All right? Not what you say, but how you say it. Small example. You can tell your man if his breath is smelling, you can say, oh, he comes up in your face, hey, baby. And you're like, whoop. He's like, babe, would you like some mints? You know, I got some Altoids. Would you like some mints? Would you like some gum? And then he can say, oh, wow, babe, am I humming? Is my breath smell? You know, yeah, babe, just a little bit. And it could be a lot of bit, right? But you ain't gonna say that. You just say, yeah, you're a little bit sour, babe, a little bit sour. Now we can laugh about it, right? And then you're giving him a solution to the problem, not just identifying a problem, but helping your man with a solution to the problem, offering him a mint. The other way will be hurtful. You're saying the same thing. He comes up, hey, baby, you're like, whoo, down your breath stink. Now you've hurt the brother. And if you said that in a public place, like we sitting down together at a restaurant, now you hurt that brother and disrespected him and dishonored him. And now everybody's laughing at him. Instead of you and I laughing together and having a little private inside joke together. Ooh, babe, your breath's a little tart, babe. Ooh, I'm gonna need. You're like, ooh, I'm sorry, babe. My bad. Give me some mints, girl. Give me 3 of them. You know what I mean? Now we have a nice little inside joke and we share that together and you help me solve a problem. versus you like embarrassing the brother, right? So somebody dropped this in the chat for me. Presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. How you say a thing matters. So ladies, it's not like men don't want to receive anything from you. It's not like we can't. Our egos are so big. I hear this all the time, Mom Deborah. These men's egos, their egos are so fragile. No, we live by the code of respect. Y'all don't live by that code. We live by the code of respect. Y'all live by the code of love. All right. Matter of fact, uh, I highly recommend that you purchase the book entitled Love and Respect. Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. It is a life changer. It is a game changer. It is an absolute necessity. If you're in a relationship, if you're married, or if you endeavor to be in a relationship and be married, you need that book. You need that book like you need the Bible. You should have the Bible, and then you need Love and Respect. All right? You need the Bible, and then you need Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. All right? Now, last love nugget, y'all, and then we'll have a quick Q&A. If you have a question regarding dating, marriage, sex, relationships, drop your questions in the chat, and I will address them to the best of my ability. All right? I don't have all the answers, but I will do my very best to serve you tonight. If I don't have the answer, the way my daddy raised me, if I don't have the answer, I'll go find the answer for you. All right? I won't leave you hanging. All right? Here we go. Last love nugget. And let me say this too. People who are harshly critical and people who are sarcastic, that's their way of putting up that facade. That's their way of pushing you away. Sarcastic people. They're really fearful because guess what? This leads to the last love nugget I'm gonna give you tonight, family. People who are fearful and are perhaps struggling with being in a relationship, they have a fear of being vulnerable. Fear of being vulnerable. Listen, let me help y'all in here tonight. You cannot love a person enough to love them out of their fear. People have to choose to let go of fear. It is a conscious decision. All right. Trust me, I've tried. And it is an extreme exercise in futility to try to love a person past their fear of being vulnerable. Fear of vulnerability, I promise you, listen, I know some of you are super strong, stronger than me, more knowledgeable than me, got it going on more than me. And you would say, well, no, Dr. G, I can love a person out of vulnerability. All you got to do is be consistent, keep showing up, keep giving, keep praying, keep serving, keep helping, keep cooking, keep cleaning, keep fixing, keep giving gifts, keep doing that. And yeah, stay on that hamster's wheel if you want to. You will find yourself this time next year being in the same space in that relationship with that person. Just like we have to make a conscious decision to be in a relationship, people have to choose letting go of the fear of vulnerability to be in a relationship. You got to choose to be in a relationship. You got to choose to leave a relationship. None of these things happen magically, nor does the Lord come down from heaven and pull you out of that thing. No, 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 no. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We need God to help us with everything. But it is God who is helping us as we make a conscious decision to move into a relationship, to get out of a relationship, and make a conscious decision to do the soul work to heal so you can be vulnerable in a relationship. Ladies, a man may love the ground that you walk on, but if you're not willing to be emotionally naked with that man and be vulnerable, he will not stay. How can he? Because if you fear being vulnerable, how is it going to be a safe space for him to be vulnerable with you? Oh, I know how to take care of a man's heart. It's impossible for you to take care of a man's heart if you haven't first taken care of your own heart. If you're still hurting and still traumatized based on what you've been through, It's okay. All of us have been there. Me too. It took me years, and I'm still working through the pain of being cheated on in a marriage. I'm still working through that pain, and it's been years. But by God's grace, I've healed. I've put in the soul work. I'm doing even deeper soul work in this season of my life. I actually met my ex-wife. She saw me at an event. I met her at an event, and she hung around and hung around and hung around. I'm gonna tell on her right here. When the event was over, I went to the men's bathroom because I was really trying to avoid her. That woman stayed outside of the men's bathroom to wait on me to ask me to forgive her when I came out. And this was years after our marriage was over. But she saw me at the event. Her friends saw me. And they actually would not have seen me. But comedian Broderick Rice, shout out to comedian Broderick Rice, who's a brilliant comedian. Comedian Broderick Rice saw me in the audience, and he was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "Man, we got an LA legend in the house. We got Dr. G Hightower. Dr. G, stand up, Dr. Hightower." And I was like, "Oh my God!" And when I stood up and to acknowledge whatever, then she saw me, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And this was at a big place, so I was trying to stay. I saw her and her little friends, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. I saw all of them trickle in when they slither in. I know I'm being mean. Saw Kukla friend and I saw him slither in when she got there. But it was a big place, and I was hoping they wouldn't see me. My ex-wife waited outside the men's bathroom for like a long time because I was in there for a long time because I was hoping that her and her friends would leave before I came out, right? She stayed outside that men's bathroom in a hallway waiting until I came out because she wanted to apologize. So, and I told her I forgive her. And I had forgiven her before that, but we had a nice long talk in that moment, and I had to release it because we can't hold on to unforgiveness. We can't hold on to hurt. We can't hold on to grudges. We can't keep cussing folks out in our minds. And we think that God is going to bless us with a new relationship, but we're still hurting from the previous relationship. It don't work like that. All right. So I know, Sadira, I had to do it. I had to do it. It's just hilarious. So listen, I'm inviting you, if you think that you're ready, if you feel strongly that you are relationship ready, if you feel strongly like, hey, I've been through some stuff, Dr. G, but I'm just not sure if I'm ready, listen, let's go ahead and get you ready. I want to invite you to join me for a relationship autopsy. Oh my God, Dr. G, what in the world is that? Relationship autopsy is going to be a 3-day relationship intensive. The purpose of the autopsy, just like a physical autopsy is used to determine the cause of death, the relationship autopsy is even deeper. We're not only going to determine the cause of death of the relationship, the death of the marriage, but we're also going to figure out what died inside of me that I chose to ignore the red flags. Why didn't I see the red flags? Or when I saw the red flags, why did I ignore it? What was damaged in me? What was broken in me? And watch this. Even after I was in the relationship and I figured out what was wrong, why did I stay so long? Why did I stay so long in that relationship? Something was wrong with me. And family, as human beings, we're inherently selfish, so we're quick to play the blame game. What she did, what she did. Listen, even though I was cheated on and I was a husband, far from a perfect husband, but definitely a husband who was loyal, who was faithful, and never stepped out, tipped out, dipped out on my wife. But the fact that I was cheated on in a marriage, it broke me. I mean, I was broken. I was a mess. But when I finally started doing the soul work and started going to therapy, started going to counseling, I figured out like, gee, that's your fault. Man of God, wait a minute, hold up. Don't be pandering for these women. Don't be a simp, Dr. G. You got to stay true with us, with the warriors. I am. And I'm man enough to say it's still my fault. No, I didn't ask her to go open her legs to another man, but it's my fault because I saw the red flags in premarital counseling. Oh my God. And even some that were before that. Why did I choose to ignore them? Because there was something broken in me. And broken people attract broken people. You know, we always say hurting people hurt people. Hurting people attract hurting people. And a lot of us feel like that we're in this deep love relationship when you have two hurting people come together. They think that's a love bond. It's not a love bond, it's a trauma bond. We are mutually and passionately connected based on our shared trauma. The relationship autopsy is going to give you answers to all of that. The relationship autopsy is going to help you identify why you're so fearful, why you've been in this single state. You've been single for 10 years and haven't been in any relationship. You say you're a wife in waiting, but you haven't done anything at all. You haven't invested in yourself, nor have you taken intentional steps to be in a relationship. All right? Listen, you say you're ready? Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's prepare ourselves. You say you're a wife in waiting? Let's put in that work. Let's get this work. This relationship autopsy is only $97, y'all. $147 for VIP. Listen, you do not want to miss this intensive. It's happening Monday, December 9th, Tuesday the 10th, and Wednesday the 11th. It's a 3-day intensive. We're going hard in the paint for 3 straight days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Guess what, y'all? And I'm working double overtime for y'all. Okay? We're going to do a 12 noon session and an 8 p.m. session each day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, December 9th, 10th, and 11th. 12 p.m. in the East, 12 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. Now, if you're in the Central Time Zone, you know what that time is. You're 1 hour behind. If you're in the West Coast, you're 3 hours behind. All right. So y'all figure it out depending on the time zone that you're in. But I've got 2 sessions each day, and all the sessions are via Zoom. So listen, register anyway. Even if you feel like, hey, that's going to not fit my schedule, register anyway. You need to get the information. You need to figure out what's going on inside of you that you haven't been in a relationship in years. All right. I don't want to leave y'all behind because this time next year, I'm going to be a married man. You'll still see me. I'll still be here for you. But very, 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 very scarce. Because I'll be singing some Isley Brothers with my wife. Praise God. I like the way you read. Okay. Shabbat. Okay. Anyway, so register for this class. Listen, this is going to be life-changing for you. All right. Listen, I am so focused. I am so focused. I am more focused in this season of my life than I've been in a long time. Because to be honest with you, I have invested myself in relationships that I thought would lead toward marriage, but I didn't do enough work on me to be really ready for marriage. I'm doing more work on myself to be the husband that God needs me to be for the wife that I desire. All right. It's not just about finances. I made money, a lot of money. Money comes and goes. In this season of my life, money that I'm earning is all about building towards legacy. Opportunities that I'm involved in, incredible life-changing opportunities, dream opportunities that I'm preparing myself for. Everything is about preparing the path to provide for her. All right. So if you're interested, let me know. Drop in the chat if you are interested. Let me just do this. Just drop one word in the chat if you are ready and you want to be a part of this 3-day intensive, the relationship autopsy. Just drop one word in the chat. Drop marriage. Yeah, I'm going to see who the real ones are up in here tonight. And we're getting ready to go, y'all. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Saturday night, especially those of you who are in the Eastern time zone. It's almost midnight. Those of you in the Central time zone, it's almost 11 p.m. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you. If you really about that life, ladies, and you're ready to be a wife, drop that in the chat, right? I see you, Sadira. I see you, Sean. All right. And mom, I know you're about that life. Uh, all right. I see you, Sharon. Sharon, you already registered. Thank you for registering, Sharon. All right. So listen, I love y'all. Um, listen, I've got a link. I'm going to drop in the chat right now so that you can register for this awesome class. Listen, again, it's only $97, y'all. And you'll be a part of this awesome group for 3 straight days. Monday, December 9th through Wednesday, December 11th. Again, we got 2 sessions for y'all. 2. All right. So if you missed the first one, boom, you can be a part of the second one. Or you can attend both. Okay. Once you get this link, you'll be able to attend both each day if you like. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Uh-oh, here we go. Okay, I got this for you. Mm-hmm. Bam. All right, I will do a quick Q&A. If you all have any questions, go ahead, drop your questions in the chat, and I will gladly take your questions. I'll take a couple of questions tonight. All right, I'm feeling a little extra energized tonight. So drop your questions in the chat, whatever questions you have, and I will do my best to respond to your questions while I'm putting this link in the chat for you. I thought I had already done it, so please forgive me, y'all. I thought I had already did this. That's why it pays to have an awesome administrator, so you don't have to do all of this stuff. All right. There we go. So it's in the chat, y'all. The link is in the chat. And let me do this really quick. Um, all right. The link is in the chat, so you can click on that link and get what you need. All right. Questions, questions, questions. Anybody have any questions tonight? All right. I see you. I see you. For those of you that are interested in registering, I see you. Hey, Miss Sheila, good to see you. Blessings on you. All right. I see you, Miss Denise. All right. So I'll take a couple of minutes and take any questions that you have. All right. Somebody registered already. Wow. That was fast. All right. Awesome. Well, blessings to you. Thank you for registering. All right. Good stuff. That was fast. Wow. Y'all ain't playing around. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Be intentional. I promise you, I'm not playing no games. No time to waste. Do y'all realize, even though you still look good, do you realize that we're getting older? I mean, for real, I'm not being facetious. Do you realize that we're getting older? If you do realize that, then you understand that uh, we don't have any time to waste. We don't have any time to waste. You don't want to be in this same place next year, still single by yourself, still dealing with loneliness, struggling with the pain of just being by yourself. And ladies, don't buy into this crazy rhetoric of saying that there's no good men out there. The devil is a liar and his cousins. Listen, the God that we serve, one of his divine names is El Shaddai, the God of more than enough. And I have found, watch this, Sean, I have found that there are some women who are always going out with good quality men. But you know what those women are doing? They're getting out and they're going out and they're going out with men who are quality gentlemen. They are Business owners, they're going to business mixers, but with the Chamber of Commerce. They're going to the bookstore. They're going to coffee shops. They're going to Thursday night, Friday night jazz or poetry event and just showing up and looking good. They're going. They're getting out. They're not staying home binge watching on the Golden Girls or Power or whatever your favorite TV show is. You're not going to have anything. You're not going to have anything that's going to happen in your life unless you change. Change doesn't happen until you change. Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Sheila, for asking that question. So um, the difference between general admission and the VIP, the general admission is 97, the VIP is 147. The difference is two things. With the VIP, you get to have exclusive access to myself and the other instructors that are coming. I got a bomb special guest that's coming, and you definitely want to ask them plenty of questions. Our special guest that's coming. And then you'll also get a workbook for the VIP section. You get a workbook, and you're going to get exclusive access for a Q&A session each day for the guests that are going to be instructing. Now, for those who are at general admission, you get to attend the session, but then after the session is over, and it's only 1 hour, after the session is over, you will be escorted lovingly out of the room, out of the Zoom room, and there'll be a special breakout room for the VIPs. And then that breakout room, you get to have exclusive access for a Q&A session with me. Plus, you get a workbook that you'll be able to work through different things with regards to this relationship autopsy. Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all my 20 years of experience as a pastoral counselor, and I'm pouring it into this relationship autopsy workbook. It's going to help you identify the what we call the blind spots. So why did I get married, y'all? Let me share with you one of my blind spots. Sheila Maven, this is going to bless you. What was one of my blind spots? Why did I get married to a woman who ultimately cheated? I made a bad decision, y'all. I married and I made a decision, and I talk about this with one of my dear friends. I made a lifetime decision while in a temporary season. The temporary season, Sheila, Miss Jeanette, the temporary season was my dad had just died, and now I'm in a season of mourning. So my dad just died. I just preached his funeral, buried him the very next day, and now I'm in a season of mourning. I got to figure out what to do with his home and all of his stuff, including a mobile home and an SUV. I got to figure out how to liquidate all these assets and what I'm going to do with it. Oh my God, it was because my dad died suddenly. It wasn't like we planned for him to leave. He died suddenly. So while I'm in that season, I'm depressed, I'm lonely, I'm frustrated. I'm still traveling all over the country, but I'm tired of being in these big, wonderful hotel suites by myself. And I finally said one day, I said, you know what? I got to get married. I'm tired of being by myself. So the woman who was just by my side and just a great friend and supported me, I was just like, hey, let's get married. Doggone it, let's do it. The craziest thing ever. Craziest thing ever. And we should have just maintained a friendship. So I made a crazy, very quick decision to marry while in a temporary season of mourning. That's a blind spot. When you're in a mourning season, that's a blind spot. When you're still recovering from past pain, that's a blind spot. When you're still struggling with fear of being hurt due to abandonment, the soul wound of abandonment, the soul wound of betrayal, the soul wound of rejection, when you're still in those are blind spots. This awesome workbook, the Relationship Autopsy Workbook, is going to help you identify the blind spots. All right? So let's go, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get this work. Register for a Relationship Autopsy. It's going to change your life. I promise you. I ain't on here at midnight telling y'all something that's not going to work for you. All right? The reason why I've been blessed to maintain and serve in this capacity for 20 years and been blessed to travel all over the country and we'll be going to other countries, be going overseas and going abroad in 2025. I believe in this with all of my heart and soul. With all of my heart and soul, I believe in this. And the formulas are Bible-based formulas that work. This is no pie in the sky. Well, I have a theory about that. No, this ain't based on theory. This is based on principle. This is based on facts. All right? Fear is a robber. Fear is a slave master. Fear will keep you single till Jesus come back. You can say all day, believe God for my husband. You can keep getting prophetic word, prophetic. You and your husband are going to have an awesome platform. God is going to raise you and your husband up to be a power couple. Y'all going to travel the world. You can get all that prophecy all you want, Sadira, Sean, Miss Sheila Maben, Jeanette. You can get all the prophecy you want, but if you don't prepare your heart, if you don't take intentional steps towards relationship readiness, you'll still be single. The prophetic word will not come to pass for you, because what we're not taught in the church, especially in the prophetic community, is that we have to be obedient and step out in faith to meet God for that word to come to pass. You're going to be a multimillionaire, Sadira. Hey, Miss Victoria, you're going to be a multimillionaire, Miss Victoria. Guess what? There's $10 million waiting for you at Citizens Bank. All you have to do is show up on Friday at 3 p.m. and sign off on it. Guess what? The prophetic word is that you're going to be a multimillionaire. The prophetic word also gave us specific, detailed instructions, as true prophecy does, gives you specific, detailed instructions about what to do. Get there Friday by 3 p.m. Guess what? You decide you ain't going to go Friday at 3 p.m. You decide you're going to go to the concert and go see your favorite artist. Well, girl, I heard Maxwell is in town. I'm about to go see Maxwell. And I'm going to go to the bank on Monday because the money is already there. I received the prophetic word. I'm a multi-millionaire. The money is already there. So I'm going to go see Maxwell on Friday, but I'm going to go to the bank on Saturday or on Monday. Okay? Good luck with that. You get there, and because you did not do the work of showing up when you were instructed when and where to show up, you missed out on your millions. Many of us are missing out on our purpose partner because we won't do the work. We won't do the soul work to get ourselves prepared, making sure that I'm healed of the fear of rejection, making sure that I'm healed of the fear of abandonment, making sure that I'm healed of the fear of betrayal. And because we won't do the work, we ain't ready. It's just like the 5 foolish virgins who did not make sure that they had oil in their lamps. And when the bridegroom came, they got left behind. The 5 wise virgins, they had oil in their lamp. They was ready. Baby, when that man come through, I'm ready, hunty. But the 5 foolish virgins, they were without. Gonna try to borrow oil from the 5 wise virgins. Hey, girl, let me get some of your oil and stuff. The 5 wise virgins are like, girl, please. I know you ain't trying to get none of my oil. I ain't got enough for me and you, boo. I got to keep myself full. I ain't got enough oil for you. You better find you a Walmart in Jerusalem down there or something. There might be a Walmart open after midnight. Go get you some oil. You better go get you some. All right. I don't see any questions. So I trust that you all will do what you need to do. Register for this awesome class, Relationship Autopsy. If you say that you're a wife in waiting, if you say that you're ready for love and you're ready for a healthy love relationship, let's go. Let's get this work. All right. This is your brother, G. Hightower, the Entanglement Coach, CEO of Real Love Nation. For those of you that don't know, Real Love Nation is a relationship development, premarital consulting, and divorce recovery firm. Again, I bring you over 20 years of pastoral counseling experience. So I ain't new to this. I'm real true to this. I'm passionate about the mission of building healthy love relationships. Love and blessings to you. Hope to see you in our class starting Monday, December 9th ending Wednesday, December 10th. It's a 3-day relationship intensive, y'all. You need to be there. All right. Blessings on you.